capitalism. We got an excellent show here today. Let me drink some water. Oh gosh, pollen got me. Ooh, mm, pollen got me parched, yo. So y'all see the title: tariffs, international trade. Mm. I'm gonna explain this. I'm gonna take this as an opportunity to explain my love for muscle cars. As y'all know, I love muscle cars. I do. I really do. I love muscle cars, especially from the era of, yeah, the early 70s, all through the 60s. And then you got hot rods that fit in there. But the point that I'm making is that if y'all remember, there was a press conference with Donald Trump in the White House, and there was a guy from Poland. He was like, "Man, you guys in America, y'all got great, muscle cars." And I was like, "Wow." And then I began to think of people in Japan, England, now Poland, in different places that I know personally that love American muscle cars. But if you are growing up and you don't have friends in these particular places, you'll be led to believe that people in Japan, people in Europe, and people in different countries do not like muscle cars. That will be the impression that you get. Unless you know somebody who specifically came here to America, jumped into either Camaro or a Corvette or, just some American muscle and just fell in love with it. It's a guy thing, I know. Some of y'all sisters, y'all might love it too. It might not just be a guy thing, but men, we love muscle cars. And the essence of muscle cars come from America. Now, Bill O'Reilly and what's going on, Chubbs? Good morning, Black Sun. How you doing? Oh, Pico, how you doing, man? So Pico, man, what? I be wanting to ask you where you from because I was wondering. Like I said, there was this guy from Poland, Pico, and he was like, he was in the White House, and he's like, "Man, I love America." I mean, his eyes lit up. "Man, I love America." I love American muscle cars. He just had this big old smile on his face. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's definitely drove one. And so I say that to say this: the governments of these other countries that are putting tariffs on, that are now allowing American cars to come to the country, are the ones hindering from the freedom of choice. Chubbs, you in the military, so you've traveled around, so you know what Geraldo Vera said about Japan was true. If you go to their roads and drive on their highways, and even in Germany, you're not going to see a single American car in sight. However, when you come to America, you will see German cars, you will see Japanese cars, you will see Swedish cars, you will see every single cars from Brazil. You see cars from all over the world here in America. And so English cars, the little mini coupes. So, but you don't see our cars in their country, and they put all these regulations and tariffs. And I'm thinking, you know what? That's not freedom of choice. But I can't really call it, Chubbs, Pico. In other countries, no, not one. Right, Chubbs. Okay, so Chubbs, you're speaking from experience, Chubbs. You know by being stationed over in the different places, when you go on their roads, you will not see a single Ford in sight, a single Chevy in sight, a single Oldsmobile. None of those cars you will see in sight. You will not see a single one in sight. And so I wish I could show you that. I'm in a car right now, but I wish I could show you that press conference where the guy, he was like, "Man, the American cars." He was from Poland. "Oh my gosh, they're so great." He was all giddy. And I was like, "Man, you're taking the choice away from that man to be able to have access to American cars." Now, during the 80s, I remember cars in America were demonized by Americans. And I'm like, "Wow, really?" And of course, these are people who don't know any better. I would say that. Now, I will say this that, I really don't want to, I guess I got to get into the mechanics of the cars. Being a mechanic for, I don't know, 15 years, let me tell you, Toyotas are good cars, and so are Nissans and all that, but so are Oldsmobiles, so are Chevrolets. Now, mind you, unless we get into the real sportsy American cars, not too many people were buying your average, I guess, affordable car. Uh, unless, you just have a high dollar Corvette or a high dollar Camaro or a high dollar Mustang. Yeah, people were buying those. And it's funny because now I'm seeing more Mustangs and Camaros and more of the high end sports cars. But for your average everyday uh, retired, I don't know, cars, I mean, yeah, you do see like Oldsmobiles and you do see where I'm getting at with all of this. And I guess, the old school cars that I like are now specialty antique cars. The point I'm making is that we can make some great cars too. We can make cars just as great as any Toyota, any Nissan, and I love Nissans and Camrys. I like those cars, but those cars are expensive. The Maximas, they are expensive. And so I say that to say this. I'm looking at a Nissan right now, Nissan Altima, Lexuses, these are all good quality cars. But what I'm saying is that we can make just as good quality cars too. Shout out to Ginger Billy, Redneck Ginger Billy. He's doing these redneck reviews, and he reviewed the new hybrid Camaro. And let me tell you, that thing is fast as hell. But again, I know these are high end cars, but let me tell y'all something. These high end cars that y'all get from these foreign countries, y'all don't mind paying for them. You guys don't mind paying for those. Oh, let me get a mic check, man. I'm out in the country, y'all, so let me get a mic check. Maybe make sure my mic is good. Chubb says they don't want our fast cars over for the regular person to have because police cars only have four-cylinder engines. What? But what about their BMW? Oh, I guess you're talking about the Japanese car. What about the Autobahn? What about in Germany? What about Germany? What's their excuse, Chubbs? You know, you go, okay, thanks, Chubbs. Yeah, I'm in the country, so I don't know. I got full bars, but I don't trust these towers out this far. But anywho, so yeah, just let me know if I start scrambling. Let me know, and I'll restart the show. Um, okay, I do understand they have four cylinders, and some of them have six cylinders, Chubs. But the thing is that fuel efficiency. But again, Chubbs, hold on, fuel efficiency. Okay, that's a good point. Right, right. Because during the Jimmy Carter era, he started all that damn gas crisis. However, Trump starts drilling. Trump starts drilling, getting the prices down. I mean, okay, so let me ask you this, Chubb. You ever been to Texas? Because in Texas, everybody has a pickup truck. They have trucks, trucks, pickup. I didn't hardly see any regular cars when I was in Beaumont, Texas. When I was doing the refineries, working for Dick Cheney, I did not see. Just like you were in a foreign country, you didn't see in American cars. Everybody had a pickup truck in Texas. Everybody had a pickup truck in Beaumont and in the surrounding cities, yeah, they were all pickup trucks. Everybody, it was either Ford pickup 150 or Dodge Dakota or Chevrolet Silverados. These were all pickup trucks. So I say that to say this. I mean, I guess that's the culture, Chubbs. I mean, I don't know. You let me know, Chubbs. Uh, by being in Texas, I just was assuming that was part of the culture because now in some parts of Georgia, you will get a lot of pickup trucks. However, you still see a lot of cars because a lot of the wives of these men are not going to be driving pickup trucks. They're going to be driving your soccer mom vehicles. They're going to be driving your sports utilities, whatever, and even little sports cars that these women want to show off to their girlfriends and to whatnot. So I can see it. It's a cultural thing. It's a status thing. It's all that. And fuel efficiency, I don't think is an issue with these trucks. And these trucks have the same engines as these. Let me say this, Chubbs. If you have a pickup truck, you're most likely going to have a V8 that, like your Z21. I'm looking at this four-door pickup truck. Oh, it's a V6. Oh, okay, that's a V6. Never mind. What I'm saying is that these pickup trucks, do they guzzle up more or less gas than the Camaro? Now I do understand the gas efficiency. Now I guess this is a whole different conversation when we talk about the hybrids because, like I said, the Camaro it goes from 0 to 60 in three. It's a fast car. I can't even remember the specs, man. Y'all subscribe to Ginger Billy, and he does redneck reviews on cars. And like I said, he did the 19. No, I'm sorry, I'm saying 19. The 2025 Camaro. It's some type of Camaro. It's not a Hellfire. It's something. You probably know the name of it, Chubbs, but it's a very it's a very it's a hybrid. It's an electric car, but it's fast. And he was doing a review on it, and he said, he gave it about 8 out of 10. And I was like, that's fair, I mean, because I know Ginger Billy, he's like myself. He's a little bit younger than me, though. But, he's a good old boy. And so he believes in the old school muscle cars, I'm sure. But I'm sure they paid Ginger Billy. But I don't want to get sidetracked. But y'all subscribe to Ginger Billy, man. He's a funny guy. I like him. He's very comedic. He's a comedian. Y'all check him out. Ginger Billy. I hope y'all know who I'm talking about. But yeah, let's see. Trucks took places of horses. Okay, Chubbs, that makes sense. Okay, so the trucks took places of the horses. So right, because a lot of them be on the farm, the ranch, and all that, and out in the country. So yeah, I do see that. So I do understand the culture of the trucks. So like I said, when in Beaumont, I didn't see no regular cars. It was all pickup trucks, all pickup trucks, all pickup trucks. So yeah, this was in Texas, and Texas is a different. It kind of reminds me of Georgia, but not really. Like Georgia and Texas. No, there's no place like Texas, man. Like Georgia is definitely a southern city, but it's a large metropolis. I didn't get that feel from necessarily from Texas. Texas was still it's large amounts of land, but it's no metropolis. It is everything is spread out. Everything is you're driving everywhere. Ain't no public transportation that I know of, but everything is spread out in Texas. So you driving everywhere you go. 59,000. Oh, they're selling these trucks for cheap. 63,000. Okay, okay. I'm just passing the truck dealership. That was a Kenworth. Yeah, the Kenworth. Um, now I'm looking at their. I didn't see any dump trucks, but yeah, y'all. Basically, the trade. Trump has exposed that he just exposed the unfairness. And Chubbs, what I'm confused about is why the media is attacking. Oh, they're attacking Trump because of TDS. It has to be TDS because in any other, like, why would you defend a country as Bill O'Reilly saying, hosing us down? We're getting hosed. We're getting hosed. This is the words of Bill. I'm quoting Bill O'Reilly, and it's out in the open, and we're not charging them. They're charging us. China's charging up to 63% on trade. Europe, I think 40 something percent. I'm just like, yo, like, do we look like suckers, Chubbs? Do we look like some suckers? Because, but they're mad at Trump. But I understand they got TDS. But let's just say if it wasn't Trump, well, I guess Biden was too much of a coward. Obama was too much of a coward. Bush, Clinton, these were all cowards. Like, they didn't say nothing. They all knew that we were getting screwed by these other countries. And Trump has totally exposed that. But again, the news media has such TDS that they're not going to, like Trump said, Trump can find the cure for cancer and they would still not give him credit for it. So, let's see what Chubbs is saying. Chubb says we have a lot of trucks up here in the mountains, but have a lot of cars here too. Right, because most likely, Chubbs, I'm sure the women are driving the damn. Like, a lot of women don't like to drive them big old trucks because a lot of women are short for the most part. I ain't gonna say all women are short, but short people don't. Well, I guess it's kind of complicated because I do be seeing short people. Big Al, my friend, the Native American I tell you about, the veteran, senior citizen. Yeah, he drive. All his trucks are big, and he's a short dude. He's like he reminds me of Danny DeVito, but all his trucks are huge. You know, yeah, Big Al. And I think that's why because of all his big vehicles. But he's short. He's a short dude, man. So yeah, uh, Big Al, he has a lot of huge trucks. Huge trucks. You know, he has a little playpen, man, because all his kids are grown. Big Al's kids are grown, man. He's been married and divorced twice, and so yeah, he's just living his life. So he got all his toys. I call them toys because this little man with all these big giant damn vehicles. It's like, yeah, those are your toys, bro. But anywho, I don't know. Shout out to Big Al, man. That's my friend, man. That's my little buddy, man. But yeah, Chubbs, he's a fellow Army too, man. Fellow Army veteran. Big Al is. But let's see. Let me read some more comments, man. I got a comment. Um, Chubb says overseas is probably changed a lot about vehicles since I've been there. I was there in the 80s and early 90s. Well, Chubbs, according to Geraldo Rivera, he's saying him and his wife just left Japan, and there are he didn't see no American cars on the road. So I don't think much has changed since you've been there. I don't think much has changed because Trump is the first. Now, after Trump, it might change. It might change. We might see more American cars. It just depends on. See, people can't make a demand on something they don't know about. Now, one guy in word of mouth that came here from Poland, he's probably telling people how great American cars are. So you might see we might see in our lifetime a change where we're seeing having more American cars over. But Trump is going to make the trade fair, and he's being nice because Chubbs, you know, Trump isn't even not even doing reciprocal. He's charging 20% to their 100%. And it's like, no, Trump, you said reciprocal, but I get it. He's a willing dealer, saying so we're gonna let Trump do his thing. Um, I will say this though, man. Trump is the first to reveal this stuff, and I've always known that there were no American cars in other countries. I've always known this. I've always known this because you can barely get people to accept American cars over here in the U.S. Now, I'm going to practice what I preach. These tariffs are going to put us in a position to choose American products over foreign products. And I don't mind that because I love American products. I love American products. However, there is a Japanese product and there is a that I have and there's a American product that I don't have. Now, I'm going to start a second channel. I've been saying I was going to do this, but I keep getting pressure from Fox to do this. So, Fox, shout out to you. I'm going to create a video game channel so I don't get my video games crossed up with my politics. But I'm going to say this just because this is a political channel and we're dealing with the tariffs. I always thought Sony PlayStation was a superior product to Xbox. Xbox would be your American version of something that's in the video game world. Okay. I've always had the mindset. Now, I've never thought Japanese and German cars were better than American cars. I never thought that. I'm like Bill O'Reilly, man. Even though I do have a Toyota truck, but I have a Oldsmobile Hoopty. So I've gone. No, no. I'm gonna say like this. That Toyota is my first foreign truck that I've owned. Most of the cars that I've owned were American. Um, but that's just looking at the car part. I'm not looking at my electronics. Again, my electronics, like my iPhone, well, Android and iPhone, they're both foreign. So I don't know any. Maybe y'all can tell me, are there any American phones? Are there any American phones? If there are, I will buy it. Are there good American cameras? I think Canon is Japanese. I think Sony is definitely Japanese. So, I don't mind buying. I don't mind buying an Xbox. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't mind buying an American camera. I don't mind doing this, changing my habits in order for the American economy to pull out of this dependency that we have for other countries. We have a dependency for foreign, like y'all know I was a mechanic. I hate to say this, but now I do have Macro tools, Mac tools. I do have American tools, but sometimes I did shortcuts. A lot of my tools in my toolbox are foreign made. And I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? When I was a mechanic, a lot of my stuff was coming off the tool truck and I was paying more for it, but it was all American. But it got to a point where I got lazy and I just started buying Allen wrenches and gear wrenches and all that from China because it was cheaper. But, you know, the quality went down, but it was cheaper. I don't know. It was just out of convenience. But I say that to say this. I would prefer to buy a more expensive American product if the quality is higher. A lot of times the quality is higher, but a lot of these corporations aren't doing that. They like your WalMarts, your Targets, and all that. They will go with the cheapest route and get the cheapest product, and a lot of those products come from China. China, 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 China. So I will definitely practice what I preach because, again, I've noticed in my 52 years of living is that the quality of American is better. It's a little bit less convenient. It's a little less. It's a little more pricey, but the quality is a whole lot better. Um, so it is what it is, y'all. I remember even weights. Weights were coming out of China, and Walmart was selling like weights. So I had to go back to Gold's Gym weights, which is American made and better quality. You know what I'm saying? And then some of them weights were coming out of Mexico. Oh Jesus Christ! So you know, I think the toughest thing is going to be the food for y'all. Uh, I think the toughest thing is going to be the food because a lot of the avocados out of Mexico be real plump, whereas the ones out of the U.S. are a little bit smaller. But you know, the avocados, I don't know. I believe we can make adjustments, you know. But let me read the comments overseas. Let me see. Chubb says Trump could shove the hunger in the world and the press will. Right, right, you're right. Yeah, TDS, Chubbs. We know, we know TDS is a real disease. So I'm not gonna even dwell on TDS. It's a disease. It's worse than alcoholism. It's worse than damn. To me, this is just my opinion, and it's gonna sound crazy, Chubbs. I think TDS is a worse disease than being hooked on crack. There, I said it. I said it. Yes, I said it. Yes, TDS is worse than goddamn disease of alcoholism and goddamn being hooked on crack. I know that sounds crazy, Chubbs. Yes, it sounds crazy, but TDS is crazy because hell, I can rationalize with a crackhead and with a meth head. I at some point in time, I may not trust them, Chubbs, but I can rationalize with a crackhead and a meth head. You cannot rationalize with a TDS head. A person suffering from TDS, you cannot rationalize. So, based on that, I can rationalize with a crackhead and a meth head better than I can a person with TDS. So, there, I said it. I said it. Don't throw a rock at me, Chubbs. I said it. Hey, I said it. Don't be mad at me. Don't curse me. But hey, I said it, and I stand by it based on my experience. These TDS sufferers are gone. And how can I prove? Oh, you said you agree. You know why you agree? Because of those goddamn Democrats. Everybody woke up, Chubbs, when DJ, that little boy with cancer, when Trump made him a Secret Service and the Democrats refused to stand up. The world witnessed TDS and how severe that shit is. They witnessed how severe TDS is. That's why I said I would, I would have a better chance of reasoning with a crackhead and a meth head before a person with TDS. Because like you won't stand for a damn 12-year-old with cancer. Like this boy may not be here tomorrow, and you're not gonna clap for him. This ain't Trump. This is a little kid. TDS, TDS, and that's why you agree with me, Chubbs, because of DJ. I'm assuming you're agreeing with me. If that if DJ would have never happened, you would probably not agree with me. I don't know. Maybe you would, maybe you won't. But I'm assuming that DJ situation woke up a lot of people. Woke up a lot of people. A lot of people woke up from that. They were like, "Oh no, these people are crazy. These people. Oh shit, y'all. Damn, I'm getting good reception, but my phone is going dead. See, I knew something was bad about driving way out here in the country. Okay, let me read this. Y'all, I might have to cut it short because my damn relax and talk sports. What up, relax and talk sports, man? I'm just here discussing the trades. Like, I don't know um, if you were in the service too, but I know if you were in the service or if you even traveled outside the U.S., you don't see American cars on in any other country. So this is what we're talking about. Like the trade is unfair, and even if people with TDS, they not understanding like Trump has exposed this. He's exposed the damn unfair trade that's been happening for years. Relax and talk sports, and but because the news media has such TDS and it is so severe that it just no, they the TDS is not going to allow them to rationalize and reason with the fact that we're being hosed down. Like Bill O'Reilly is actually a big critic of Trump. And he even said, wait a minute, because he was skeptical about these tariffs. And he's like, wait a minute. Oh, we're being screwed. We're being screwed on these trades. Oh, hell no. So let me read Chubb's comment. Chubb says, my friend from Germany got in my 4x4 Ford truck for the first time. He wanted to take it back right to his country, right, with him, and said people would buy these trucks, would sell like wildfire over there. Right, right. I think yeah. I think these Europeans and these Japanese people would go crazy over American cars. They would go crazy over it. They would go crazy because American cars have a different feel. I'm not taking away from German cars or Japanese cars, but American cars have a whole, especially if you get a Cadillac. Man, American cars have a different feel to them. To me, in my opinion, German cars and Japanese cars feel the same to me. And I'm not saying that they're not good quality cars, but they don't have that feel. You get inside of a Cadillac, that Cadillac has a feel to it, but whatever. Whatever. It did. Chubb says, okay, Mr. Blackson, your phone is going. Oh, okay. All right. Blackson, I'm actually from Kazakhstan. Andre. Call me Andre. Okay, Andre. Okay, Andre. Okay. Kazakhstan. Okay, Kazakhstan. Okay. Hey, y'all, my phone's going out. But yeah, catch me on the next show. With that being said, and I'm out, y'all. Peace.